I found a love for me. Well, darling, just dive right in, follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Well, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time. Oh, darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes you're holding mine. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, we're listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, but you heard it. Darling, you look perfect tonight. Well, I found a woman stronger than anyone I know. She shares my dreams. I hope that someday I'll share her home. I found a love to carry more than just my secrets, to carry love, to carry children of our own. We are still kids, but we're so in love, fighting against all odds. I know we'll be alright this time. Darling, just hold my hand, be my girl, I'll be your man. I see my future
you like to sit, ladies and gentlemen? Boys and girls? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. May I welcome you to France, to the Charente region, to Bellevue, France, and most importantly of all, to the wedding of Jenny and David. David and Jenny first set eyes on one another at the Angel's Share Bar in Edinburgh on the 17th of January 2014, after both successfully swiping right on a well-known online dating website. David was struck by the beautiful young woman that walked through the door dressed in her bright red trousers, and Jenny, she just couldn't believe her luck either. That first date was a great success, and as the months went by, many more dates followed, with more and more time being spent with one another. It didn't take long for them to introduce one another to the future in-laws. In September, David moved into Jenny's home in Corstorphine, and many happy holidays were had with the Bell family. And it was shortly after their Florida adventure that Jenny discovered she was pregnant with soon-to-be Maisie Nita Bell. By November 2015, they decided to move to East Calder, where they would prepare for the happy arrival of Maisie. And on Christmas Day, David proposed to Jenny under the Christmas tree. Jenny tried to hide her disappointment seeing the shape of the box, though. She told him she wanted a necklace. Thankfully, after seeing what was inside the box, it more than made up for it, and of course she said yes. On the 9th of January 2016, Maisie was born, and a new chapter in their lives began with their beautiful daughter. They both enjoy the amazing lives now they have with their beautiful daughter Maisie. Today, they love nothing more than spending time together, spending time with the family, and simple days like playing with Maisie in the back garden and walks in the nearby country park make their lives complete. And now, here in front of you, their family and friends, they will take vows and will give each and receive a ring as a sign of their commitment to one another. And I'd like to ask Hayley to come forward with her reading, please. Just where you are. Lovely.
On your wedding day, today is the day you will always remember, the greatest of anyone's life. You'll start off the day just two people in love and end it as husband and wife. It's a brand new beginning, the start of a journey, with moments to cherish. And although there'll be times when you both disagree, these will surely be outweighed by pleasure. You'll have heard many words of advice in the past, when the secrets of marriage were spoken, but you know now that the answers lie hidden inside, where the bond of true love lies unbroken. So live happy forever as lovers and friends. It's the dawn of a new life for you. As you stand there together with love in your eyes, from the moment you whisper, I do. And with luck, all your hopes and your dreams can be real. May success find its way to your hearts. Tomorrow can bring you the greatest of joys, but today it all starts.
Thank you. That was lovely, thank you. Today we have come together to witness the marriage of Jenny and David, to share the joy and celebrate their love for one another. The gift of marriage brings husband and wife together in love and trust, unites them as one in heart, body and mind, and joyful commitment to the end of their lives. Marriage is a way of life, and no one should enter into it lightly or selfishly. It is a union to be celebrated. Jenny and David are now ready to enter this way of life. They will give consent to the other and make solemn vows, and in token of this, they will each give and receive a ring. We all wish them happiness and love for the whole of their life together. It's often said that it's love that makes the world go round. However, without doubt, it is friendship which keeps our spinning existence on an even keel. True friendship provides so many of the essentials for a happy life. It is the foundation on which to build an enduring relationship. It is the mortar which bonds us together in harmony. And it is the calm, warm protection we sometimes need when the world seems cold and chaotic. True friendship holds a mirror to our foibles and failings without destroying our sense of worthiness. True friendship nurtures our hopes, supports us in our disappointments, and encourages us to grow to our best potential. This couple came together as friends. They pledged to each other not only their love, but their strength, warmth, and most importantly, the fun of true friendship. Firstly, I'm required to ask anyone present who knows a reason why these persons may not lawfully marry to declare it now. Excellent. Jenny and David, the vows that you are about to take are to be made in the presence of your family and friends and are solemn vows. Jenny and David, do you both promise to be loving, considerate and supportive to one another? To approach your future with an open mind, to embrace change and share many amazing life adventures together, to bring fun, laughter into each other's lives, and to be faithful as you grow old alongside each other throughout the seasons of life.
I do.
Jenny and David, it's now time to exchange your own personal vows. So, David, if you'd like to go first. I, David, take you, Jenny,
I, David, take you, Jenny,
my best friend in love,
my best friend in love,
to be my wife
to be my wife
from this day forward.
from this day forward.
I give you my hand,
I give you my hand,
my heart and my love.
my heart and my love.
I promise to be the best husband I can be,
I promise to be the best husband I can be,
to appreciate all that you are
to appreciate all that you are
and do for me,
and do for me,
to be sure
to be sure
that you know how precious you are,
that you know how precious you are,
to encourage you in your dreams
to encourage you in your dreams
and ambitions.
and ambitions.
Together we continue to inspire each other,
Together we continue to inspire each other
to be the best that we can be,
to be the best that we can be,
to work as a unified team,
to work as a unified team,
regardless of the obstacles we may face,
regardless of the obstacles that we may face,
which will only make us stronger.
which will only make us stronger.
And finally,
And finally,
I promise to love you
promise to love you
through good times and bad,
through good times and bad,
with all I have to give
with all I have to give
and all that I am,
and all that I am,
in the only way I know how,
in the only way I know how,
completely and forever.
completely and forever.
This is my solemn vow.
This is my solemn vow.
Jenny, it's yours. I, Jenny,
I, Jenny,
take you, David,
take you, David,
my best friend in love,
my best friend in love,
to be my husband
to be my husband
from this day forward.
from this day forward.
I give you my hand,
I give you my hand,
my heart,
my heart,
and my love.
and my love.
I promise to care for you,
And I promise to care for you,
comfort and support you
comfort and support you
in all that you do.
in all that you do.
I believe in you and your determination
I believe in you and your determination
to follow your dreams
to follow your dreams
and work hard for your goals.
and work hard for your goals.
I promise to love you in every way that I can,
I promise to love you in every way that I can,
to hug you when you're happy or sad,
to hug you when you're happy or sad,
to listen to what you have to say.
and to listen to what you have to say.
Remember that one.
You are my, you are my world,
You
You are my world,
my rock,
my rock,
and I will be the same for you
and I will be the same for you
for the rest of our days.
for the rest of our days.
I'm looking forward to adventures together,
I'm looking forward to adventures together
in discovering new things and places,
and discovering new things and places,
to learn and to love together.
to learn and to love together.
This is my solemn vow.
This is my solemn vow.
Thank you if you'd like to sit.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Bill, would you like to come forward and give your reading, please? Go on, Bill. You, whatever way you wish. Okay.
This is a short extract from a romantic novel, Captain Corelli's Mandolin. Love is temporary madness. It erupts like volcanoes and then subsides. And when it subsides, you have to make a decision. You have to work out whether your roots have so entwined together that it is inconceivable that you should ever part. Because this is what love is. Love is not breathlessness, it's not excitement, it's not the promulgation of eternal passion. All that is just being in love, which any of us can convince ourselves we are. Love itself is what's left over when being in love has burned away. And this is both an art and a fortunate accident. Those that truly love have roots that grow towards each other underground, and when all the pretty blossom have fallen from their branches, they find that they are one tree and not two. Love is important, and you should love each other the most.
Thank you, Bill. That was lovely. Thank you. If you'd like to start. You have made your vows in the presence of your family and friends, and you're now ready to exchange your rings as a sign of your love, understanding and devotion to one another. The ring is a symbol of the commitment which binds these two together. There are two rings because there are two people, each to make a contribution to the life of the other and to their new life together, and as a token of your love and of your deepest desire to be forever united in heart and soul. Jamie and Xander, will you come forward, please? And Jamie, will you give the ring to Xander that David will give to Jenny?
That a boy. Thank you, Xander.
Well done. Thank you,
Good job,
Xander.
Hal. Nailed it.
Jenny, I give you this ring
Jenny, I give you this ring
as a symbol of my love,
as a symbol of my love,
devotion
devotion,
and faithfulness to you.
and faithfulness to you.
May this ring remind us of this moment.
May this ring remind us of this moment.
Jamie and Ben, will you come forward, please, with the ring that Jenny will give to David? Well done, Ben. Jenny, will you place the ring on David's finger and repeat after me?
Yep.
David, I give you this ring
David, I give you this ring
as a symbol of my love,
as a symbol of my love,
devotion and faithfulness to you.
devotion and faithfulness to you.
May this ring remind us of this moment.
May this ring remind us of this moment.
In our presence, Jenny and David have given their consent and made their marriage vows to each other. They have declared their marriage by the joining of hands and by the giving and receiving of rings. I therefore proclaim that they are husband and wife. David, you may now kiss your beautiful bride. And can I now ask Uncle David to come forward with his reading, please?
So Jenny asked me to do a reading ages ago, and then she started nagging me, texts and emails to say what would the reading be, and I didn't have a clue. We've all been to these ceremonies and births, deaths and marriages where you get some reading, and nobody really understands what it's about, Corinthians or Deuteronomy. I don't want to fall out with Uncle John here, but so I said to Jenny at the last NAG that I would write my own little reading. So this is called Be There for Each Other in 4 parts: meeting, marriage, motherhood and maturity. So meeting up is the fun part, nearly all upside, meeting and dating, liking then loving, time spent together, knowing each other. But there will be some downside. Be there for each other. Marriage is the serious part. Let's all go to Bordeaux. A fundamental commitment, sharing life and bank accounts, for richer or poorer, for better or worse, through good times and bad. Be there for each other. Motherhood, the next part. Things change forever, but positive, not negative. But it's not just about us now. New experiences, crying and smiling, crawling and walking, from gurgles to talking, from nursery to big school, and answering back. But with the thrills come some spills, good health and bad health, sadness and joy. Be there for each other and them. Maturity, the next step. This is for old codgers like me and Douglas. Laughter and memories, great times and tough times, old friends and absent friends, grandchildren, what joy, that life is for living, be happy together, forever and ever, be there for each other.
Lovely, thank you. That was very nice. Jenny and David will now sing the register, so can I ask our 2 witnesses to come forward, please?
We've got Nessie on there. Does it have Nessie on there? No, sign it Taylor. Here it comes.
There we go. Love it. Cool. Gonna blow away.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Bell.
The victory dance.
The world is yours.
You blind me, don't close your eyes, don't fade away, don't fade away. Oh, yeah, you and me, we can ride on a star. If you stay with me, girl, we can rule the world. Yeah, you and me, we can light up the sky. If you stay by my side, we can rule the world. We've walked
tonight. They're lighting up the sky tonight for you. All the stars are coming out tonight. They're lighting up the sky tonight for you. For you. If you stay with me, girl, yeah, you and me, we can light up the sky. If you stay by my side, we can rule the world. All the stars are coming out tonight. They're lighting up the sky tonight for you. For you, all the stars are coming out tonight. They're lighting up the sky tonight for you. For you, all the stars are coming out tonight. They're lighting up the sky tonight for you. For you, all the stars are coming out tonight. They're lighting up the sky tonight for you. For you.
It's an amazing meeting.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please be upstanding for Mr. and Mrs. Bell?
Hello. You got the best seat in the house. By the way, the good news is apparently the Dandies are 1-0 up at halftime. With my whole heart.
Father the bride is going to do a speech now.
Thank you, Ross. That's your pocket money stopped again. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Douglas. I'm actually David Bell's father-in-law. I'd like to welcome you all here this afternoon, this evening. We've all had a wonderful day. Please forgive me for reading, but I didn't want to learn it off because that would have ruined my weekend. So I read a lot of it. Really. For all of you who have travelled far and wide from New Zealand, Preston, Edinburgh, Galashiels and parts further, thank you very much for joining the happy couple here this evening. Today is a celebration not just of the love of Jenny and David, but really the two families who've brought up and influenced these very two special people. A very well welcome to Bill and Irene from David's side, and the rest of the Bell clan. It's actually very unusual to see Aberdeen people in Europe at this point of the season.
Oh dear.
Jackie, what a wonderful job you've done in bringing up our beautiful daughter and shaping Jenny into the wonderful lady she is today. Jenny said to me a couple of months ago, she said, Dad, why did you call me Jenny? Why did you call me Jenny? I said, well, we didn't. We called you Jennifer Linda. And she said, but did you never think when I went to school, secondary school, that being called Jenny Taylor is maybe not a good idea? Think about it. And I can honestly say, Mum and I never thought of that, Jenny. I'm sorry. And some people are getting there slowly. Jennifer. I'll try to keep it together. No, it's gone. Okay. You made me the proudest star in the world. Right, I'm back. Jenny had to kiss a lot of frogs before she met David. Her standards were very high. Her last partner, unfortunately, was very controlling. He decided and dictated when she ate, where she slept, when she went out. But thank God Charlie Dog lives with Jackie and Alan. Another prospect suitor was a guy, never heard of him myself, but a guy, Gary Barlow. When Jenny was, shall we say, quite a bit younger, she went to Mum and said, Mum, Gary Barlow's at Radio 4 today, can I go? And of course, Mum, being sensible, Mum said, what the hell, you're going to school today. So, off Jenny went to school. At night, not being very, very clever, Mum, do you want to see these pictures of Gary Barlow? Mum said, aye, okay, let me see them. Jenny's in the background. Caught. The only girl that cried for 2 days when Take That broke up. 48 hours off mourning.
It's a dark time.
When Jenny and David become very close, and I was kind of tipped off a bit that David might be coming to ask me for her hand in marriage, and sure enough, David came to ask for her hand, and David, I was really impressed with doing that in old style fashion. David arrived at my door, sweating a bit, kind of shaking. In you come, son. I thought he's had a few beers, but I knew what was coming. In you come, and 2 hours later he talked about Aberdeen Football Club. He talked about sheep and fishing and stuff that he knows a lot about, and chairs. And 2 hours later, he still hadn't asked me for my daughter's hand. So then I started shaking and trembling. I thought, he's changed his mind. David, I want you to remember something. A man who gives in when he is wrong is a wise man. A man who gives in when he's right is married. But kids, neither of you will ever be perfect, but you can be a perfect match for each other. A successful marriage is not about finding someone that you can live with. It's finding someone you can't live without. And I think you guys have found that perfect partner. Marriage is like a deck of cards. You need 2 hearts and a diamond. If you ask your mum, she'll say that sometimes a club and a spade comes in handy. I'd just like to finish with a little poem. As any wise would say, a wee ditty what I wrote. I didn't write it, but I thought it's quite nice. Today is my daughter's wedding day, and a wonderful thing it is to see her so excited, so happy to be his. But once she was my baby girl, my second born love of my life. But now she's a woman and just become David's wife. Once she was my baby girl, loved her daddy and her toys, but then I couldn't stop it. She grew up and loved the boys. Today's my daughter's wedding day. How fast the time did go. From Little Feet and Sesame Street to a wedding gown it flowed. From golden locks and lollipops she grew up straight and tall. From baby things to a wedding ring. How I loved her through it all. And now she will go forward to enter married life, to share good times and bad times, the happiness and the strife. I wish them both the best of luck, with a prayer my eyes will see. That God has blessed them with a baby girl, as he did for me. You all be upstanding, and we will toast the bride and groom.
Yes. Good speech. Abri. Cheers. Okay, thank you very much for that. Next up, a man who needs no introduction today, the groom, David Bell.
Very, very kind words. I'm just going to apologise in advance. There is no comedy whatsoever in this speech. There is a lot of mush. So, buckets at the ready, everyone. You might feel a little bit sick as I go through this speech. Yeah.
No one's surprised.
So, but I'd like to kick it off with a traditional, on behalf of my beautiful wife and I. Yeah, we're just all absolutely chuffed to bits that you guys have made a huge effort to get yourselves here this weekend. We appreciate it's not just as easy as moseying on down the road to your nearest kirk for a little wedding celebration, so thank you so much for being here. For these guys all the way over from New Zealand, from Team PNE over here. We've got Gala Shields in the house, we've got Edinburgh, and of course the promised land of Aberdeen. So yeah. Touche, Linda.
He's a funny guy.
I don't even realise sometimes.
Such a card.
But yeah, no, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank both our sets of parents. First of all, me and Jenny wouldn't be enjoying the life that we have today if it wasn't for you guys and the way that you've brought us up and the support that you've given us over the years. In particular, I'd like to thank Jackie, because in the time that I've known Jackie, she's been absolutely amazing for us, particularly since the birth of our little gem to our left here, Maisie. We had a few challenging moments during the early stages of Maisie being here, and Jackie's been an absolute rock throughout for us, and I've been able to see, just understand how much, you know, you mean to Jenny, and yeah, so thank you, Jackie. To my mum also, I'd also like to say a special thanks. I was thinking about the speech and everything else, and what I'd like to say to my parents. It's not often you get these opportunities to do it, and I was thinking about all the previous moments in years gone by when I would walk into a room and say to my mum, I was like, "Mum, I've got something to tell you." And my mum would, like, blood draining from her face and just being like, "Okay, what is it this time?" And rather than blowing a gasket and flying off the handle, she was always amazing and supportive and helping me, and also Colin as well. You had your times as well, Col, where we had to work our way through certain situations, and then I'd have to say at the very end, it's like, "Can you not tell Dad?" I won't tell Dad. God. And yeah, but that, and then also the good times as well, and one of the best moments I've ever had was being able to phone you and say that Jenny was pregnant with Maisie, and that was a special one. To the dads, to Dougie, thank you so much for making all of this possible. We would not be here if it wasn't for you helping to step in, and you know, from the minute that I proposed to Jenny, you were there from the get-go and saying, "How can I help?" and everything else, and you know, hugely appreciate that. To my dad as well, and this is, I'm really sorry, it gets really mushy here, but I kind of have to say, I was asked a few weeks ago, when the girls were doing a little video for Jenny's hen do about, you know, who is an inspirational figure to you, and I gave something out at the time, and my head was completely up my arse because I'd had a heavy night the night before, and I didn't really give the answer that I should have gave, because the answer actually was, in actual fact, my old boy dad. So yeah, thanks for that one, Dad. But yeah, no, just if I can be nearly as successful in everything as you've been, and I'll be a happy man. So, I wanted to touch on the favours. We've got a gift for both the mothers, and you'll probably notice in front of you as well, there's bits of tablet here which have the little labels Alzheimer's Scotland on them. If we can pass them over to the mums. So, I can't take any of the credit for this. This is purely down to Jenny. Jenny came up with the idea of we would make a donation to Alzheimer's Scotland, and so that's the gift that we have for Jackie and my mum. Both sets of family have been touched by Alzheimer's in the last few years. We lost my gran last year at the ripe old age of 101, and then also Jenny's granddad and gran recently have been suffering with Alzheimer's, so this is just our little donation towards that. To my best man, trying to think on what exactly I want to thank you for. What do I thank you for?
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Charm? Definitely not. Chat? Oh God, no. Dazzling good looks? Look at this guy, it's definitely not that. But no, seriously, you guys are, well, you're my best mates, and I was chuffed to bits having you up there today, so yeah, thanks for that. To the bridesmaids, you all look absolutely stunning today. You've all been amazing to Jenny, helping her put all the wedding together, but then beyond that as well, I know how much she cherishes you guys as friends, so thank you very much for all the support that you give to her. I also want to mention Hayley as well, because Hayley also has just been equally as, you know, loving and supportive to her. 29 weeks pregnant, she made it over here. So, hats off to you, girl. And of course, not last but not least, my darling wife. I think the first thing I have to say is about the wedding itself. I can take no credit for this, as Jenny's probably told all of you. I can take no credit for this. But seriously, Jenny has worked tirelessly to make this wedding as perfect as can be, and not just for us, but for everyone else here. She's just always been thinking about everyone else. And one of the most poignant things and this is just why I love her so much, was, you probably wouldn't have seen it, but there's little pictures that we had up at the ceremony table, which are of our grandparents' wedding, and that was always the thing that she always thinking about, is family and family that can't be here and that kind of thing. That's why I fell in love with her. So that's, you know, the kind of girl that she is. We didn't meet in the most traditional sense, but we became best pals instantly, and then of course we had the birth of our amazing little girl, Maisie, yeah, I could not be happier. So at that point I'll shut up, and I'd like you all to raise a glass please to Jenny and to Maisie.
You don't need to tell. Got more read.
Congratulations.
Cheers.
Right, okay, gentlemen, now we've got the best man.
Men.
Moment we've all been waiting for. Sorry, best man.
AKA the Three Wise Men.
Enjoy.
Here for Jenny and Dave, and to a lovely couple on such a wonderful day with all our love, Linda and John. So there you go.
They're here.
Who gave me this? This is a stitch up from the start. Right.
Well, I'm glad that you said that.
Thanks for reading that. You a couple of bits. Fair play. Linda, John, good card. I really like the detail, the definition, like 3D blew my mind. Well done for you. Right, okay, from the top. Does anyone here like puzzles?
Like what?
Puzzles. Yeah? Anybody? Yeah, we got puzzles. Okay, so if you do, you're in good company, because apparently 66% of the UK is addicted to puzzles, which means that exactly 2/3 of this room is wondering what the hell Jenny sees in Dave.
The fact that so many of you guys have travelled such massive distances to be here today, it's a massive tribute to both Dave and Jenny. But on a personal note, the three of us have had the opportunity to meet all Jenny's relatives. And despite what Dave's been saying for a long time now, we actually think you guys are all right.
A big thank you to the bridesmaids. I know what you're thinking. You'd be wrong. It is apparently quite difficult to cry, hold flowers and look pretty all at the same time. So I'm sure you'll agree they performed their roles splendidly. Such a desirable position no doubt comes with some intense rivalry as who's going to get the first dance for the best man.
Speaking of us best men, we're absolutely honoured to be chosen from Dave's massive pool of 3 friends. In fact, we're so honoured that we wrote a little rhyme to celebrate Dave on his special day. Take it away, Craig.
Hit it. Where's the band? Oh, it's gone. Okay.
MC Hammer's left.
Is he gone? Okay. Sober, clean, and entertaining. It's what the best man's speed should ideally be. But if that's what you really wanted, Davy boy, then you really should not have picked us 3.
And on that note, let's talk about the stag. Thankfully, no Eastern Bloc police were involved, as we weren't in Prague. Dave being Dave, we went to the Highlands, the land of his dreams. And the rest of us were happy with that, as we thought out there, they'll never hear his screams. There was talk of David being tied to a midget and waking up in a sewer. But more than that we can't say, as what goes on also stays on tour.
Moving swiftly on, I hear you say, how on earth did the groom and these best men get to where we are today? We used to be so sweet and innocent and pure. An ailment only adolescence would cure.
In your youth you were a promising goalkeeper, with a left foot that couldn't have been sweeter. So where did it all go wrong? Let me see. Not sure we have that long.
So then Dave decided it was about time he had to up his game. He felt the best way to achieve this was through rock and roll fame. Now this was always going to be interesting. First things first, your fashion sense, it really did need uplifting. Having to ditch your much loved Aberdeen shell suit, it was a massive pain. And this was replaced with clobber that made him look like a gay Kurt Cobain.
The hair was the next thing that our rock and roll star would try to perfect. Centre parted and greasy, those hideous curtains make me spew while I reflect.
Once Dave eventually looked the part, our band began to bloom. Sadly, our timing was out and we couldn't hold a tune. Even though we lacked talent, we were highly enthusiastic. And people came from far and wide to witness these bunch of spastics. Goodbye. Sorry. That's band name. And another thing that I've witnessed, which is on our musical travels, which is really rather moving, is when Dave's on the dance floor and really getting grooving. It's hard to describe his style. I can't quite say exactly. His top half stays dead still, while his legs go like Michael Flatley.
No, Dave, he's certainly not the most coordinated man, since he's carrying a massive melon of a head. And he has often been known to wear outfits that would not look out of place on Right Said Fred.
Now back to school, and Dave was proving to be something of a teacher's dream. Scoring well in exams and playing in the school football team. But he wasn't always the star pupil. He was actually quite shifty. Friday nights at the youth club were for chatting up girls and drinking his old man's whiskey. Cheers, Bill.
misdemeanors aside, Dave's most redeeming feature is most definitely his honesty. A quality I sincerely hope he passes on to his progeny. Little Maisie is blessed and the centre of the clan. Just like her dad, she'll not grow up to be a man.
Dave being a father, now that's a scary thought. But I'm told by Jenny there is no reason to be fraught. But how can this be when so many of Dave's antics keep me awake? Like his cross-dressing tendencies, highlighting a badly packed trouser snake.
But that's our Dave. He's a total clown. He often acts before he thinks, which leads him on very nicely. What do you think he'll do after a couple of drinks? Piss in the cupboard? Climb up the wall? Or generally act like a drunken bum? Lose the zero button off his phone?
Oh yeah.
That was bad. Pass out in the bus. This filthy animal, he just loves to have fun.
But Dave, with sincerity, I say this, don't sit there with a friend. We thank you for all the good times, and you've never let us down. You're the one I've always called whenever needing helping out. Reliable as ever, you're there without a doubt.
We three best men love you, Dave. Not sure how often we say it out loud. As a pal, a friend, you do make us very proud. Hardworking and committed to your job, you're always working late. It's incredible what you've achieved, Dave, with a mental age of 8.
But who would have thought they'd make such a great pair? For he is the tortoise and she is the hare. Dave muddles around with a confused look on his face, while Jenny buzzes about like she's running a race.
And now to the beautiful Mrs. Jenny Bell. Congratulations, you really, really do look great. And I'm sure everybody in this room will agree with me that he's punching miles and miles and miles and miles and miles above his weight.
You make the perfect couple. You two fit together like a glove. It really is a beautiful thing to see two people very much in love.
And now is the time to toast this new bride and hairy groom.
We had to put that in. It's too nice otherwise.
It just worked. So can I ask you all to please join us, each and every one in this room. Please be standing for a toast to Mr. and Mrs. Bell.
Mr. and Mrs. Bell.
Cheers.
Congratulations.
Three wise men.
Out.
Out.
Somewhere, baby, it's part of me, apart from me. It ain't ways to hollow. You fucked it, friend, it's on its head, it struck the street. During Milwaukee off your feet. And once I knew I was not magnificent. true.